My job is to unlock mental slavery. I wasn't trained to be, I was made to be a sailor sea.
Hi there, bonjour. Mediterranean Sea, mes amis. What a do and what a be. I hope y'all are having a good 2023. And I hope there'll be plenty more in 2024. And yeah, been noticing a lot of doom and gloom about, upcoming whatever shortages. Like, why? You know? I thought, after people kind of understanding we got to prepare and stuff, people will be growing their own food gardens and all that stuff. And a food forest even. But, these things take time and there's more to it than that with solutions. But yeah, I know, like, time and money's got people on a crunch in a lot of ways, unfortunately. But yeah, I just hope y'all maintain some kind of positive outlook on life. But hope for the best, prepare for the worst, type of thing. But yeah, so yeah, much love to the One Great Work Warriors. It's been great hanging out with them, even getting up at 3 a.m. to do these just like weekly meetings. Also, it's cool. And yeah, I've been really fortunate to be with these cats and speak with some true fucking living legends. Not the be confused with the hip hop group, although I got much love and respect for them. It'd be great to talk to them actually. But yeah, maybe that'll be down the line, trying to interview artists. But yeah, I don't know if I got enough YouTube clout to make that happen, but we'll see. But so anyways, yeah, I've been really fortunate to speak with a bunch of people, and I'm kind of living the dream in a sense right now, just like going and doing my thing with these interviews of, and it's great. I get to pick certain people that I would love to have on my show, and I'm opening the door for others as well, because I want to speak outside of echo chambers and all that jazz. But yeah, personal life has been up and down, and it's caused video productions or whatever to be kind of stagnated a little bit, which is it is what it is, unfortunately. But in the meantime, I've been able to heal a good amount, and yeah, rediscover some good old lovemaking. But anyways, that's for another time. Yeah, enjoy this chat. It's gonna be somewhat real short and sweet, and yeah, feel free to share your trials and tribulations and whatever's been good with them positive vibrations in the comments. So yeah, once again, Derek Bonlicelli in La COT. So I've been hearing from women in recent years, where are the real men? I got 5 brothers right here with me, and we've done a great show about what a real man is, and exemplifying that through articulation, and also trying to just, share our life experiences of that embodiment of the divine masculine. So yeah, with my One Great Work Warriors, that's what we're about. And yeah, staying aligned to the divine and just coming together week in, week out, and yeah, doing some great progressive things, and just there for each other and support, and any kind of troubleshooting with video making and stuff. And it's just great to have these brothers on a as a team, a unit. And so yeah, it's a great group of folks to lean on. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it, because I really was pretty vague in this video. But the thing I'm most proud about, or whatever, the biggest accomplishment I did in 2003, as far as like video projects and whatever, is that Trinity, Triforce, Symmetry, Symphony, whatever. And one of the reasons why, I mean, it's only like 24 minutes long, but it's amidst like so many other great works and podcasts and all this stuff. But this project is the thrice great. It's into 3 parts, set up specifically a stepwise threefold manifestation, which was concocted throughout 3 nations, 3 states in America, and 3 regions in France. That's something, huh? America, North America, USA, sorry. Did some work in Oregon, a lot of it in California, and also a lot in New Mexico. When I flew from California to France, I had a unexpected layover, a plane cancellation. And so I was chilling in Dublin for a night and like a day or something like that. And I was, had my computers with me, and I just bust out the laptop and get to work because there was a lot of stuff fresh in my mind. I understood the clock was ticking because when I got to France, I had a week in Paris, a week in Brittany, before going to the south of France, where I'm at right now, La Ciotat, which is right next to Marseille. Hey, it's been nominated as one of the most beautiful bays in the world, but hey, a lot of places get their turn, so just wait for yours. Anyways, so yeah, the work I carried on my travels is pretty phenomenal, and like, I don't know, it's kind of speaks volumes of just what I've had to persevere through, maintaining focus through time and space and all that stuff, place to place, even though it wasn't all that rough, but yeah. And the only thing rough about it is just realizing how little viewership it got. But c'est la vie. And also, I'd love to hear you guys' feedback on, what video, I was a part of, collaboration, or music mix that you thought was, your favorite from this past year. I'm always open ears, even to like negative criticism. Let me know it's good. I'm, always up for refining my craft and improving and expanding. So yeah, let's get a crack.
Welcome back, everybody. This is a very special show. This is the 2023 retrospective show of the One Great Work Warriors. In this show, we are going to be talking about our goals, our accomplishments, our achievements, our highs and lows, but also what each and every one of us feel that we need to work on and improve on in the new year. It's been a great year, many great topics. We've had amazing guests on, so we've covered a lot of things, but there is always room for improvement. I know I need to improve on some things, and I'm sure each and every one of us have to in a certain area. So let's go ahead, Chris. Let's dive into this. You kick it off, and let's talk about this. We've done so much in this year, and I'm looking forward to the next year coming.
I don't know, Rick. I can't improve. I'm practically perfect in every way. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm very humble. I got a lot to learn, and I made some mistakes this year. And there's been some times when I've done things I'm a little embarrassed about, and I wish I'd done a little different. But the things I got right were showing up every Tuesday with you guys, these wonderful 6 gentlemen, all of us together. I feel like greatly has improved my life over the last year having this weekly meeting. We've kind of created a structure that we didn't really have before this year. What we've developed this year has been this sort of process of coming up with topics. And generally the way it's gone is one of us, I think one of them early, I can remember Rick came and he was having a disagreement with someone, and it turned into this 3 to 5 hour discussion, and he was frustrated with this. And I was like, well, let's all talk about it. Let's do a recording on this. So we started doing these roundtables, and so we start keeping track of our topics that we have in mind. And we've been one by one going through these topics and getting a little more organized about how we go about this process. And for me, someone who comes from a background of being like a teamwork facilitator, that was something I did earlier in life that I learned so much from, that it's kind of like what we're lacking in the freedom community. When people work together, we can exponentially get things done. Many hands make short work. And so we started doing these processes of all of us working on ideas for slides, or coming to our recording meetings prepared with, some talking points. And it's allowed all of us to kind of exercise that muscle of kind of being on stage and being live, and being recorded, and then going through the processes of getting these videos and publishing them online and sharing them. And it's been like really encouraging me to see that Jim has been growing, and every time I go on Instagram, I see him putting out new information, and asking really pertinent questions. And Derek, he's over there in France, spreading his love out there, just constantly putting out videos, mixed videos, really creative stuff. He spends hours and hours weaving these beautiful tapestries of music and graphics together, and then waking up at like whatever shit ass time in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, to meet us. There's been times when he literally shows up and he's like got one eye open and he's trying to stay awake. But talk about warrior fuel. Rick, he's going through health problems tonight. He had a little struggle getting in, but fucking warrior shows up and nothing stopped him from being here and being part of these talks. And same with Brandon, like he's like our rock. He's always there and pushing us to do a little harder and a little better. And then you got Jerry always showing up with a smile, and his wonderful attitude and encouragement to all of us. And like building his skills too. And each time he speaks, he gets better at it, and bringing things to the table to kind of surprise all of us. Like, wow, that's awesome, Jerry. Thanks for bringing that. That was really cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to start it off with that by saying how proud I am to be part of this group and thankful I am for you guys. And I'll go ahead and pass it to Jim.
Yeah, wow, thank you, Chris. That was really nice. And for sure, like if anything, just being able to have this weekly meeting with you guys made me so much stronger and more confident to do things and put stuff out there. And I mean, if you knew me a few years ago, like, and I did a couple of like these group things. I was like the most quiet person. I still all my life I've been quiet, shy. You know, I think a couple. I know Brandon says he's been in his life too, and he's built up this confidence too, and Jerry too, and we're working on it. And that's kind of the whole point is I want to get across it. Like it's a struggle to put yourself out there. It's uncomfortable. I even had to block my mother from my Instagram account because she's like my worst critic, right? But it's like silly stuff that means keep people from doing stuff. But I'm just being able to be with you here with you guys, and then we make these videos once a month, and then it's like at this point it's gotten to the like I don't even think about it anymore. Like I just like I'm just putting it out, and like I'm not overthinking. And another really cool thing was less than a year ago I got this computer. It's not like the greatest computer, but I was like another thing with like I didn't want anything to do with computers, but I realized that I need the computer if I want to put more quality content out there. So I learned Canva. Like if anyone, I didn't know what Canva was a year ago. And like I think I've been able to create some kind of cool stuff with it. So, and it's fun. So for anyone who is thinking about doing stuff, it's not even that difficult. And yeah, like if you want to get really good, there is, of course, it's not going to be easy, but just to get started, Canva is fun, and just play around with that. And so that was definitely an accomplishment. And I'll pass it off to Brandon.
Thank you for that. And yeah, this year has been all about growth for me. It hasn't been easy. Some of the goals I was able to reach, some of the goals I was not able to reach. One of my goals that I was not able to reach this year, but hopefully, next year was this year I wanted to build a website, and put all my content on my own, website. Unfortunately, that did not happen, but sometimes goals can be reworked with, and hopefully try to um, reach that achievement next year. But some of the things I am, proud of, staying true to my word, staying true to myself, constantly, hell, being here for these meetings. Hell, even when I've, have gone out of town, hell, y'all know I'm always here. I always take my laptop and hell, my camera. Uh, the only thing that gonna stop me from missing a meeting is if I have a softball game to call or I'm dead. And I think y'all know that by now. And then too, I was able to step up my, have my art, uh, have my art, as far as creating. I made sure not to use that word content creation there. But yeah, trying to step up my art game, and like you can see each year my art, um, it gets better. It increases. The biggest thing this year was, I was able to get a more powerful, device. I wanted to kind of step up my graphical work. I'm always watching Will Keller, and he's always inspiring me. And I'm like, man, if I could at least get, have some of have those creative ideas, but you can't really do that without a nice, powerful device, and that's what I didn't have. And how this year I was able to save up some, have some pennies, and buy a nice, powerful device. I was able to, work on my video editing. I was able to learn how DaVinci Resolve, and how that's been able to help my way of trying to put this information out there. And another thing is my own shadow work. That's something that we talk about a lot. And there's always work to be done, like Rick said. And even though we are putting out content, we're always still, work on ourselves on the side. And that's one thing is, how this year I felt that I was able to get over some of the emotional, barriers that I had locked deep down inside of me that had been suppressed, for many decades. And, I was able to learn to work with some of those blocked held emotions, and, how, learn how to cope with them, and, stop, finally stop burying them. And it didn't just take, like 1 year, it's taken a process of 8 years, and, still working on it, still some work to be done. But, how just me, how being honest, and, you know, um, just at the end of the day, just being consistent, man, because it like it hasn't been easy. Like there's a lot of things that can just get you to just say, fuck it, hell, I'm done, putting out, how this art, and how there's a lot of personal things, work related, a lot of things that go on in our own individual lives that a lot of people don't know about, but you still kind of push through, like you still have to maintain, because putting out this information is so valuable. And at the end of the day, like if we're not doing that, then it starts to become a problem. So how that's some of the things. Oh yeah, and it was such an honor to be a part of Seed 5, man. Like that was possibly one of the biggest highlights of the year for me, because there was so many, how wonderful individuals who spoke. And I have so much respect for, for my fellow spiritual brothers and sisters, and it's such an honor to stand alongside of such wonderful individuals, in the spiritual battle. So yeah, being a part of that conference, I've always loved how Brandon Martin's work, and I followed how Tyler Bloyer's work for about 3-4 years now, and have much respect for those two two dudes. But yeah, C5 was just a how wonderful experience, and just a overall experience of hanging out for pretty much 2 days from sun up to sundown. Like that was an experience right there, because I was tired, but you still maintain. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Derek.
From sunrise to sunset, and it's like that sometimes. And yeah, don't forget that these conferences, they last, they're 10-hour days, right? At least. And there's not only the Seed Metamorphosis conference. Y'all can hear me, right? Cool. And the other one hosted by the Funnel, Freedom Under Natural Law, which Chris Jansen is a part of. He co-hosted with Leslie Powers, Will Keller, John Rowland, and geez, like
We had
Crip Rick
Sabrina
ended up
and
in that. Yeah, Crip
Cindy
Rick.
doing
Yeah,
announcements. Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
And
Yeah,
Rick helped this
that
time.
was
Rick was in there. That's right. Yeah.
fuck yeah. No, that was really cool. The eclectic hosting of your collective, and it's not to be hinging on a kind of collectivist type of shit. You know, we were kind of talking about that earlier, and it's cool. Like, and this is what I love about this group. You know, we can talk about a lot of stuff and, you know, kind of air out some things that we've kind of heard on the internet and social media and through the memery or memery. Is it pronounced memes or memes? Sometimes I get that mixed up. I've been in France for a long time, so I don't know, yo. Like, but you know, it's like
Check your
meme
memory.
wars. Yeah, like
Check your
Memory.
memory banks.
yeah, the memery on the scenery. But it was great to be back in California smoking on that greenery. And even back in France a couple of months ago, hanging out with Dorian Greens. And she was part of that Metamorphosis conference, and just I was hanging out with some legends and beautiful souls when, yeah, the majority of my time spent in 2023. Well, it's like halvesies with France and most of the, yeah, California, Oregon, and New Mexico. I stayed with a long visit with Mario West. I put out some really interesting content. I was checking over the list of what I was doing, and it's like over 70 videos that I'd produced. And that's with like a little hiatus with the I'm skipping around, but if you know my work, sometimes like yeah, like I'm dabbling in a lot of stuff outside of music, and I have the thing that I launched with Leslie Powers and Dissolving the Divide, and we're at 35 episodes right now. We took a couple of months off this summer. I was working 7 days a week, day and night, at, out here in France, having a living situation and trying to just pick up some pieces that I have some loose strings and all that stuff. But yeah, going back to just my travels and being around, I for the past 4 years I've moved around 40 fucking times. But yeah, being back in the States in 2022 and half of the time in 2023, yeah, meeting up with first of all, like, yeah, Chris, hanging out with you and Leslie, chilling in Half Moon Bay, and then, you know, sleeping on Leslie's couch one time. You know, one weekend I'm traveling from Oregon to, you know, back into the Bay Area where my parents live, and you know, trying to link up with some common cats in between, and just like getting to know folks and getting more acclimated. I've been like so out of touch with America because I've lived a third of my life in France. And like speaking English is not something that I do on a regular fucking basis. So that's why I have like speech impediments, whatever, sometimes. But I just love being able to like just be in common contact and communication with these brothers right here, and it's really great. It's been so fruitful for me, and just like overall encouraging to do more and speak out more and be more creative in so many different ways. And this has been something that I've wanted to do for years and years. And you know, the Dissolving the Divide has been a great outlet for that. And just like, yeah, creating new thumbnails, even like, Chris, how many hours have you spent in your life just making fucking thumbnails? You know, like, holy shit, man. And at least you're getting some skrill for that, and that's fucking tight, yo. But I'm trying to keep it short and sweet, but yeah, hanging out with real fucking people. Um, yeah, it's really something out to that, and I encourage everyone to do that. And yeah, just much love to you, Chris, Brandon. We hung out in Las Vegas for 4 days, just getting like minimal sleep. We met up for the first time at like 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, and put out a couple videos. I took my camera on my travels, you know, as a journeyman should, trying to, just link things together and keep the truth speaking with you at all times. And I literally have like 50 to 100 videos that I've recorded. I haven't even fucking put out just because I'm overwhelmed by all this stuff. And I've had burnouts and all this stuff. I've had just like my own self-sabotaging over self-medication, shit like that. I've had heartbreaks, and I lost my mother within this year, and just like going through so much shit, just being able to stay afloat. And like Brandon, as we did it wasn't within this year, but we had a great segment, living your life as light as a feather, where we all have to fucking alchemize all these things that are coming at us on a daily fucking basis, and taking in, like, yeah, the accumulated things that we might have put off in the past, and stack it up and fucking burn it down, and have that phoenix fucking rise again and again and again. So that is fuel to the fire that burns the creative spark within the soul, that we all need to kind of drive that vehicle towards, just like overall evolution within yourself, ripple it out for others. And this is what I think, we're all about here in this group. And I just really appreciate everyone bringing whatever kind of energy and focus to the table with any kind of topic we've gone over. And I just, I love the vibe. I love hanging out with y'all week in, week out. It's something that I really want to just be available towards, and even, making the sacrifice of sleep. I slacked off a couple of times and all that, but yeah, just like trying to make it, even if it breaks me a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it off to Jerry, yo. Yeah. So,
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I'm like the last to, I'm always the last to speak. I'm always like, just love what you guys were saying. And it's challenging a bit because, I still deal with, I guess some public speaking, like pressure, right? And it's good for me to, get out there, speak, trigger complexity, but it's fun, man. And yeah, I agree with Derek. The vibe here is just so cool. It's relaxed. We're not like, I don't know, arguing with each other. We're like just chatting like adults, and I'm grateful for that. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess everybody went. That was crazy. Um, yeah, I I'm just I'm gonna pass it on and then kind of get into it my next time I speak.
Cool. Let's go to Rick.
You did awesome. You did. You guys are amazing, man. And I'm just so I really love you guys. I really do. And I look forward to this meeting every week. I do. And to think where we started a year ago and where we got to, I think we've done so much growing, each and every one of us. And I know I've learned something from each and every one of you guys, for real. And it's amazing. I'm really looking forward to the new year and what we're going to be bringing and how we're going to step our game up. I know I need to in certain areas. I'm kind of like Brandon. I was hoping that by this year I would have my own website, which I never got to. And it's definitely a goal of mine in the new year. I definitely want to get a website going. I would like to be more active in promoting myself and the One Great Work Warriors and all the content that so many people are putting out. I would like to kind of get more active in the social media area and promoting. That's one area I'm definitely lacking in. And so it's been a great year, and I've met so many incredible people in this year. I think of all the interviews I've done, and I pretty much interviewed everybody that's part of the One Great Work Warriors. I think the only one who hasn't been interviewed by me is Jerry, which I will remedy that very soon, Jerry. I will get you on an interview eventually, whether it's radio or whatever. But yeah, and I'm just so blessed and grateful of all the incredible people I've met this year, and you guys, as I was saying, and it's been amazing. It really has when I think back. And I got work to do, even on myself still. That's something that I work on every day. I'm glad that we talked about that. Brandon brought it up. All of us kind of have, is that the work on yourself never ends. It's not a weekend thing. It's not a one and done. It's constant. And I'm always checking in with myself, and I'm always, willing to really change if I have to. I know I still need to work on myself, definitely. And so it's been amazing. And I'm really looking forward, truly, guys, to the new year. I think that each and every one of us has grown so much. When I think of each and every one of you, you guys are, Jim, you're doing content now, man. That's a huge thing what you did, and that's not, and I want to really point that out. That's not a small thing, man, to put content out and be consistent at it. And so that's a great thing, and it shows that you can do it, and we need more people doing it. And along the way, as I was saying, you're going to meet so many incredible people. Now, have I lost people along the way? Have I lost so-called friends along the way? Absolutely. But I've gained so much more than I've lost. And I've met so many incredible, real people that are really, really care. They care. And they care about freedom. They care about truth. They care about natural law. And they are always talking and trying to find solutions and try to fix the mess that we're in. So it's been an amazing year, guys. Thank you. I truly, truly do love each and every one of you. And I'm just really excited about the new year. So that's the best I got for you guys.
Thanks, Rick. And thanks for doing your radio show every Monday. Every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific. I got a little alarm that goes in my phone. A lot of times I'm out busy or I'm working. I can't pop in. But when I can, I go over to Revolution Radio and listen to Rick's show. And I've had the pleasure of being a guest on his show, I think 3 times now.
Yep, 3 times.
And
it's amazing.
It's been really an enjoyable experience. And it's just neat that it's there every week, And like when I first started, I'm thinking back to 2011, 2012, when I first really started digging into a lot of the freedom, truth community stuff. I didn't see stuff out there like what we're doing, like regular Joes. There was, I found Mark Passio, and he was kind of already pretty well known, but not as well known as he should be, obviously. But I was kind of like, and Larkin Rose and Richard Grove and some of these people that have really made a name for themselves out there. And but that's all there was. I don't remember seeing a lot of other just people on YouTube or Facebook, doing the stuff we're doing. And I was kind of all alone on it for a long time. And when you find other people that are reverberating and reflecting off the same things you're saying and reacting, it really helps. It helps with encouragement and motivation. So I think what we're trying to get across to you, whoever you are who's listening, is that you can go out there and get it. You can do these things yourself. We need you to, because, even though we're all kind of smiles right now, we love each other, we love our group and stuff. The world's hell out there. And part of why it's so tough is because there's a lot of fucking pressure on all of us financially, physically, mentally out there in the world, because we're working against the resistance of billions of people who still believe in collectivism and religions that are destroying our all of us. They're destroying our ability to be free. That's the evil in our world. And so we're battling that evil every day if we're doing something about it. If we're not doing something about it, we're just getting taken over more and more and covered up. And so, there are out there other lights, but it's up to you to connect with those lights. And the way I found these lights was by putting my shit out there, by putting my work out there. I shouldn't call it shit, because nothing I've done is shit.
That's right.
My amazing, beautiful work with all its flaws. I was like, when I look back at my older stuff and a lot of my shows, I've made a lot of mistakes. I had a lot of sound problems, graphics problems, visual problems. But I just kept learning. And like like these guys said, I upgraded my technology this year big time. Now I work what I call the helm of my battle station. I got screens and the buttons and all kinds of cool shit going on my station here. And it used to be just one little laptop with this goofy monitor that you could barely even look at because it was so pixelated. But like I really want people to take a go to Brandon Spencer's Odyssey page and take a good long hard look at his presentations. Can you imagine the amount of hours and time it takes to put these things together? And like you said, increasing your graphic skills and your computer skills, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thousands of hours over time. And like what Derek has been doing with these mixes and weaving things together. So for me, like for instance, producing a podcast, it's not a 1 hour thing. I mean, one podcast, if I have it completely produced, I could spend 3 or 4 hours, like putting it on Odyssey, putting it on Facebook, putting it on YouTube, putting it on my website, making sure that an RSS feed, getting an MP3 version, getting that on my podcast, and keeping them up to date. I'm still catching up, and it's a long, difficult thing to do. And sometimes it's not fun, and there's a bunch of technical problems that I don't really, like Jim said, I never wanted to get into this computer crap at all. I was on a flip phone
Me too.
back in 2011, and I had no plans to go back to the smarty phone.
Yep.
But here I am because the message needs to get out there to people, and we have the ability to do it right now. Now it's hampered at every turn. I know my Facebook account and my YouTube account, there's algorithms that are blocking people from being able to see me. There has to be, because there's been times when we see ridiculous things happening, or you go do a search and you can't find it even though you're searching it with the exact title. And then you got people out there getting 6 billion views for drinking orange corn syrup in a big bottle or something. It's like, the world doesn't give a crap about morality right now, but we do. We really do. And I do with passion. And when you find other people that do, it turns into magic. So I guess I'm doing a little bit more thanks, but I did want to talk briefly about a goal. Like one of my big goals this year was to write a book, and that was back in May. And I've been working on this book idea and tinkering away on it, and started over just recently. But that's going to be my 2024 plan. I don't think it's good to feel guilty when we don't reach goals. Goals are like aiming. You don't always hit what you're aiming for, but the more times you aim, the better you get at shooting that target. And so but I did reach some big goals this year. Like Brandon said, I did the my funnel conference, being an organizer and keeping up the website. If you haven't checked out freedomundernaturallaw.com, go take a look. A lot of my time and energy went into organizing that website, and Will does a lot of the graphics, but like I'd be posting them and emailing people, and there's a lot too that went into that project. And then creating my own presentation, which for the funnel project was for me climbing a little mountain, and I filmed it, and I think I spent more hours on the graphics of that presentation than I've ever spent on any single project, because I wanted the words to weave in with the trail as I was hiking, and I had a lot of trouble with the audio. It was tricky, but I learned a lot, and you don't learn a lot by not taking on big projects, and then like you said, the seed conference was just fantastic, and I was able to kind of be a little bit behind the scenes part of that to some extent, and help those guys out with some promo videos and that kind of thing, and make my own presentation that I put a lot of work into too, and the trap within a trap. And so I'm really proud of those 2 big conferences and being part of them. I'm really part of being part of the funnel conference. I'm really proud of the way End Evil podcast has come along. Now that we're doing the live roundtables, it's bringing more people in, and anybody who's listening has the opportunity at least once a month. I've been trying to create that opening for people to show up and get on film, get on camera, and speak your point of view. We want to hear it. We're not like Jerry said, we're not trying to shout each other down and argue each other out. In fact, we're trying to do the opposite, show how anarchists are supposed to behave. We're supposed to be caring, we're supposed to be empathetic, and we're supposed to look at both sides of the point of view, and then maintain our self authority, and be able to regulate our own self and our own emotions. So yeah, that's a lot of words out of my mouth. So I'll pass it along to back to Jim.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I mean, it really is amazing that everyone now pretty much has this opportunity to create their own media, right? And so it's a tool that we have, and we know that like the news is so evil and that, so like we can create our own good news, you know? So I just think that's important for anyone, as long as you have the truth on your side. That's I really feel that if you know what you're saying is true, then you can't go wrong.
That's
But
right.
as far as accomplishments this year, I I had a lot. I have a like a permaculture food forest, and also part of a CSA or organic farm. And I got a lot done there. It was a very good year at the farm in like as a physical space. I taught classes with homeschool kids on a small scale, and I even organized for another teacher to teach, do like herbal classes and that with the homeschool kids, and that was a good feeling. I created farm to table dinners, which was all good. Like I had a good year with that, success on the farm, and just another part of my life that I love, and like the permaculture aspect is a piece of what I work on. But so that's Earth School Farm, and that's also my Instagram account. But then I created Truth in Your Heart when I started with you guys, and the Truth in Your Heart YouTube channel, which I started last year, and I put all our work on there and some other things by me. But when I created Truth in Your Heart, it was kind of like I was hiding, to be honest, because I was putting the videos there, but there's only like 100 followers. And I realized like nobody's seeing it. And like most anybody who follows me is on my Earth School Farm. So then, but then I was afraid to put some stuff on Earth School Farm because maybe some people would see it and it would affect, because I leased the land at the farm, and like I'm saying some radical shit. And then, but I reached the point where I just said, fuck it, you know, like, because the truth is more important than, I know I'm saying the truth. So just because truth has become like the hate speech, that's not my problem. But, you know, so I just started putting the stuff on Earth School Farm as well. And as a goal, I have the Earth School Farm website, and I'd like to put more, like all our stuff on there as part of that, and share all kinds of natural law stuff, like all that. Like I really want to work on that website, build that up. And yeah, I mean, just everything you guys have said has been great, and really just like just keep encouraging people to get out there. So okay, Brandon.
Sometimes you just got to say fuck it, you know. But unfortunately, too many people are just trying to fuck it. And still, unfortunately, you know, how the government trying to fuck us. But Chris, you
Well,
brought up a good point, man. Like, if I didn't put out any, you know, of my art, then I would have never have, you know, been able to have meet any of you know, hell y'all. I would have never ever been able to meet any of the individuals in C. And that's the thing is once you start to create, once you start to put out your art form, it doesn't matter, you know, how you create. Once you put it out there for individuals to learn, to see, you know, to educate themselves, then people will find you. You know, it like hell, it takes time. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, but you have to be patient, and you have to, you know, you have to be willing to constantly, you know, have continue, and you know, have that willpower. So how that was the whole point of, the video was to inspire the individual to say, hey, here's not only what, how we can do as a group, but here's what an individual, can do. How like Derek said, he's put out what I think you said over 70 different mixes. How that's a lot of content. And and like each mix is like what 1 hour to 2 hours, and like it's high, like it's high level, high conscious style, hip hop because I've listened to possibly 60%, like of those mixes. So it's just putting information out there. Like that's really how we are going to inspire the individual to create change within themselves, and just look at what how one of us has done and look at how what we've done as a group. I think we put out 14 videos so far. I think this will be number 15, and by the time we end the year we'll have 16 videos how out. And like just trying to really help show people like, hey, this is how we should be operating off principles. Like we've all been very consistent, how meeting, how each, how each, how each week. Yeah, how there's always gonna be bumps in the road. Yeah, how sometimes things may not work out. You may miss a meeting or two, or you may be running late. But it's just it's the consistency, how that I've seen, from all of us, how in this group. And that's the thing is the truth is consistent. The truth is the most consistent thing. So if we want to match the truth, then we have to be consistent, how consistent within ourselves, consistent with our word, consistent in honor our principles, and how consistent, with maintaining our hell integrity. And that's what I feel like, how we all have done inside hell this group. And would like to say my two favorite videos that we've done was the dangers of compromise and what is the great work. Those two that were my favorite. I mean, and mind you, like I think all of the videos, how we've done are good, especially some of the more recent ones, like how once we all kind of, have got over how the attentiveness and just being on camera, because I think we all are hell improving. But those two videos, I think by far were our best. And I think a lot of people really did hell appreciate those videos. So I'm passionate.
You know which other two are really good too? What does it take to be a man?
Yeah.
And then we did the
Yeah.
one with the female perspective, and Stephanie and Leslie jumped in, and those were a couple really good episodes I love
Yeah.
too. Those stuck out for me.
Yeah.
And see, like it was hard choosing because it's like, man, like hell, there was so many, like freaking hell good videos. It was just, those two were some of the most recent ones. And how just judging, from the feedback, how that we've gotten, I think a lot of the viewing individuals also like those two videos too. But yeah, if you haven't seen some of our older videos from the beginning of the year, then please check out those videos. I'll pass it on to Jerry. Flip the script a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, man. I think the Devil's Advocate was a really good one. And the last video also felt pretty good. And I heard the roundtable was pretty good. So I'll have to watch the replay and look forward to it. But yeah, just to continue on, my year has been amazing. It went by so quick. I'm like, dude, it feels like yesterday. It was Christmas. It's insane. And like I just hear you say, oh yeah, we have 15 videos. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like where does time go? And yeah, I mean, I would just have to say it's motivating to hear Derek. You uploaded about 70 mixes, dude, and you were on the hiatus. And like, dude, like that's what's up, bro. Like that's motivating. And yeah, someone like shadow work. I've been doing a lot of shadow work, trust me. And I'm like that chicken that's about to hatch, you know? I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna penetrate out of here and like just put out the work, bro. Yeah.
Blow off the roof.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jerry, thanks so much, man. And another great thing, Jerry and I are both autonomy graduates, and like we've both worked are working on and have been working on, upping our game and being able to do freelancing work. And I'm really proud to say that over the last year, I've been consistently spending a certain number of hours a week working from my office, and that's been a long-term goal of mine for many years, a few years anyway, as part of my goal to get off of the breast milk of the state, basically. Like I didn't for years I've worked in construction, and I've usually got a paycheck from some contractor, which the government gets involved there. And been looking for a long way to not have to do it that way, and to be able to choose more specifically where my money comes from and who gets to touch it before it comes to me. And I've been able to do that in the real world too, to a large extent for my work. In the last year, I've worked for people, human beings that I know, and go to their house, work for them, and they pay me directly. And or I traded some work for my self-defense teacher. I traded some work for my yoga teacher. And I've come a long way on my own self-defense training as well too, and preparation for things that can go wrong in the physical world. So outside of being here in the office and learning to work all this computer stuff, I'm out there fighting that battle too, working on my physical skills. So I mean, I'm proud of that too. But there's a lot more to be done. There's all aspects of our life that need to be chipped away at. And but when you talk to people, perfect example. In our last meeting, Derek had his computer open, and he's like, I got to clean the fans out on my computer. They're all full of dust. And I'm like, you took the back off your Mac? He's like, yeah, you got to do that like every year or so. And I realized I had this laptop that, I thought it was ruined, it just wasn't working right. And so right now I have the back off of it, and I'm cleaning the fans out. I was showing them before the meeting. And like I figured that out. I learned that from being in this meeting and having that conversation with Derek. Even though it's a simple thing, maybe I should have figured it out. I didn't. He brought that to me. And that's the way it is with this work and with natural law. A lot of people have not thought about this stuff. No one put it in front of them. But now we're putting it in front of you. So then it falls to you to do that for somebody else, to pay it forward again for someone else. And so asking you, telling you, hey, it's your job now. We're great people. Connect with us. Connect with other people on the One Great Work Network. Connect with other people on YouTube. Doesn't matter. Just how else are we going to get to the truth if we don't all do that discernment process and work towards it and ask the hard questions and think about those things. So going forward, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of our art out there, and I'm going to keep trying to figure out ways to reach more people with the message that evil is the destruction of freedom, and that we got to work together to create the world that we want, to leave the legacy that we want for future humans, where they don't have to live in slavery the way we are.
That's so true.
Can I just make a correction? And I appreciate y'all's praises and compliments, but
700 videos.
Say again. Sorry.
700, right?
It wasn't seven. It's just 70 videos in total, not 70 mixes. Like I got like 100 and something in total over a decade. Like 70 videos that I've kind of just uploaded, and over 30 of them count for dissolving the divide and all that stuff. So not like I'm all divided within my creations, but yeah, like I love the goals and everything that you mentioned, Chris, and everyone's contributions and just like the life paths of these wonderful individuals and just like sharing these things out in public, you know, like allowing, you know, some vulnerability and things like that for others to actually kind of glean off of something and possibly, you know, make something of that and kind of find that introspective motivation to kind of, you know, fuel something towards their creative spark of whatever, you know, drives them, and more power to them. And we all appreciate y'all checking us out. um but yeah, Chris, I love the fact that you're able to, you know, work with Richard Grove and other folks in autonomy and stuff. And like, yeah, like you're saying, like, you know, chip away, scrape away, and try to like merge more of this great work uh, as a form of income in a sense, so we can live off of just, you know, doing these things that count for a lot more than just, you know, like working in a restaurant or, you know, even, you know, whatever kind of people have going on with their 9 to 5 jobs and this and that. Carpentry is another thing. I'm thinking about you, which is actually very constructive, you know, in a literal and metaphorical sense, right? So yeah. But yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to Brandon Spencer because, you know, you've been kind of like a workhorse and like a genius technician within this group, and like really given a lot of advice technically, and also he's been the one that's like kind of done the editing of a lot of these videos that, you know, you have been seeing that have been uploaded on multiple platforms, which we advise y'all to watch on Odyssey or BitChute, not the fucking BooTubery type of thing, because as Chris mentioned, you know, there is some shadow banning and shit like that going on. Brandon's been a victim of, you know, what, you're on your fourth YouTube channel, right? So shit,
I'm on my third channel.
Crazy.
right? So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to drag on. I'm just yeah, I'm happy to be involved with y'all and share my little, you know, tidbits of insights with whatever topic we cover on any given month. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the future and hopefully just propelling things towards, yeah, like making this the real true media, as you know, Mark Passio's class, you know, really emphasizes. And there's a lot of avenues to travel through where we can really make a difference. And yeah, you look at the landscape around YouTube, and you know, there's millions of views, you know, spread across, you know, like a bunch of mundane fucking content. And yes, like as you mentioned in the beginning, Chris, like, and it kind of refers to a video put out, you know, in regards to like content creation and like, you know, like we're all on YouTube now, so we're all considered content creators. Like, not necessarily. Like, what happened to the good old fashioned, like, you know, artists and, you know, being having your life as, you know, a way of, you know, the art of life in a sense, your way of life, and you know, spreading your art form through the expression, especially if you've been studying certain things. And like, yes, what y'all have touched upon, like we've spent thousands of hours researching behind the thousands of hours put into, you know, putting and producing content and works of art and works of videos and other things. And yeah, I have my musical tapestries, as well as, you know, Rick has his radio show, and there's so much to consider, and there's so much networking behind the scenes and trying to make rendezvous and, scheduling interviews. And for how many fucking views? When you see, the clues of where the majority of the population's attention span is directed towards, and it's fucking deplorable, unfortunately. And that can get a brother or a sister down
Mhm.
on the motivational and morale side of things. And it's not to complain about it, it's just something to bring up because we're doing this for fucking free. We don't have our channels monetized, by the way. So, and we're not even like asking for donations. You don't hear us saying, like, even before or after the video, click subscribe, ring the bell, and what the hell, and what, like, all that shit aside, like, we're just, like, do you understand? Like, our priority is to just, spread certain messages, hermetically sealed, aligned to natural law, like, evolutionary, sovereign being way of life. And that's all I got to say about that. And I wish you well on your path to a better life.
Hell yes. Anybody else want to conclude? Final thoughts? 2023.
What it be? Mon ami.
2023 victory.
Absolutely.
Rick, you want to go? That's it.
I'm just thinking about what Chris was saying about the tech side of things, and I'm thinking to myself, we're kindred spirits on that one, Chris, because a few years ago I had a phone and that was it, and I had no interest in getting into tech at all. Like, I was like, that was the furthest thing from my mind, and then I realized, I started doing a podcast, on my phone. That's how I started, was doing it on my phone, and I realized very quickly that, you have to learn this tech side of things. And I'm so glad that I did. And it's been a struggle. I still struggle with tech. It's something I'm working on every day, but I think people have to realize that, never in history have we had so much information at our fingertips, and not just at our fingertips, but the ability to get it out to the masses so quickly and so easily. And I just think that this is not a time to squander that. And it's so precious and valuable that we have this ability in the limited way that we do. They're doing their best to make it very difficult. All of us have talked about being shadow banned, and we have channels pulled down, and I've seen people's videos being pulled down. So it's getting harder, but we still, at least at this time, have the ability to find all the information that we need. It's out there. It's at your fingertips. If you just want to, you care enough to look for it. And then also you have to learn some of the tech to get it out there. Unfortunately, this is the language of this, of the modern tech. This is it. This is how people communicate, is over the internet. And so you have to learn some of it to get the message out there. And that has been something that I still struggle with. I learned from Brandon. I've learned from Chris. I learned from so many people. I learned from Mark Pasio's How to Be the True Media class. There is some work that is involved. Unfortunately, we have to learn the tech side of things, and to get it out there. And I just want to tell people that, the information that is out there, you just have to care enough to look for it and then put it out there in your own unique way. I always tell people, you may not want to do a video interview, you may not want to do a presentation, but you have something you're very unique at. And I truly believe you can incorporate your uniqueness into this message, whether it's through music, through dance, through art, whatever it is. I really believe you can incorporate the message in your own unique way. And that's the challenge, is to find what, your way of doing it. So that's my last thought, is that, we have to take advantage of all the information that we have at our fingertips.
Do it.
And yeah, do it.
Hey, like Nike, just do it. But
Just do it. It's
yeah,
there.
and like Rick said, man, like now we have the hell availability to record a video and upload it to a website and send that link to anybody
Mhm.
throughout the world. We have to take advantage of this opportunity, because it's not going to last long. So that's really what we want to encourage people is we have to jump in this fight. We have to get off the sideline. We got to stop being spectators. We got to stop being cheerleaders. You know, we got to stop being fluffers. You know, like too many people out there, they just want to fluff. You know, just want to keep jerking other people off. Like, no, we don't need none of that. You know, like we have to get activated. We have to get involved. You know, we got to be, you know, like we have to be inspired to, you know, like to actually join the battle. So let's take advantage of the opportunity, you know, that we all have.
Mhm.
And I'm done.
We are done.
Do it. All right, thanks guys. Been a great chat.
Yeah.
And I like we all said, it's been a great year. So in terms of our work and what we're doing here, it has been a great year for freedom because we're still slaves. So
Yeah.
we got work to do, folks. 2024, let's get this shit on. Let's do it. All right, much love. Anybody? I didn't miss anyone? You good?
Good. Yeah.
All right, good talk, guys. Good night.
Peace.
The name of the game is persistence, dedication, consistent motivation, resistance to stagnation and information, distributed free to the entire population, no hesitation, making it public, no privatization from corporations.